actually at this interface between food and the environment, we can drive significant environmental and social change. It is what I like to call the tastiest solution to climate change. Food accounts for over 30% of our greenhouse gas emissions, over 50% of our habitable land use, over 70% of our freshwater use. So if we can get food right, one of the most positive drivers of, as I said, like environmental and social change. So no one was doing what we were doing here in Australia by connecting consumers to regenerative growers, short supply chain, closed loop. So we decided to create that ourselves. It's at the center of everything we do. So there's such a disconnect between how our food is grown, where it's grown, and who it's grown by. So from just a really simple, storytelling element, we can get those stories from producers and understand, all of the nuances, the effort and the time and the impact that growing our food has, and get them out to a broader market. The food we buy in our supermarkets isn't fresh because of long supply chains. So often it takes, up to 2 or 3 weeks from when it's picked to actually reach the consumer's home. So with us, it's under 48 hours, and technology plays a huge role in doing that. So helping the producers understand what they need to grow, when they need to harvest it, based on the consumer demand. So again, it's short supply, and then also reduces waste significantly by doing that. It's absolutely massive. I think these days, the internet burst into the scene in the late 90s, early noughties, and then now people are like, wow, I don't need heaps of stuff, I just need really good stuff. And so for our consumers, consumers are savvy, they're convenience driven, they want a lot and they expect a lot from a brand. So for us, for that consumer front-facing end, it's really important for us to have a seamless experience, for us to be communicating the right things to our consumers at the right time. And then also in terms of driving revenue, it's really important to make sure that we're really clever about how we sell stuff to our consumer in a digital way. I think local is here to stay. I think it's going to be something that gets stronger and stronger. I think if you look at all of the trends globally and the communities that have been the strongest coming out of COVID and going into COVID are those ones that have a significant connection to local community. And I think digital plays a huge role in building that, but then also I think in overlapping what we do in a digital sense with the real world. I think we're also all saying, hey, we're all actually human and we do want that interaction, we do want that connection. So just a delicate combination of both, I think, will be the future going forward. For us and food, what we really need to do and change is break the habit. So get people coming back to us week after week after week after week, which is really good. And we've broken our customer segments up into different segments based on their frequency of how they shop with us. And I think what we need to do and can do really cleverly across the website is when people land there is help them move and so nudge them towards different behaviours. The customers in our segment are definitely divided. Some are happy to be subscription, others aren't. But what we would love to see is seamless subscription technology that really, it doesn't seem like a subscription, but where your friend's helping you out to fill the pantry every week. We know that typically customers, whilst they want to see the perception of variety, their cart really doesn't change. 80% of their cart is usually the same week on week. So let's get those staples to them. And then let's say, hey, okay, we know that you, based on your staples and the rest of your cart that you buy each week, we know that you really love Asian cooking. So did you know we've got this new Asian sauce? So here are some amazing mushrooms that are in season at the moment. Having a real life example of how you're impacting a company's bottom line, their customer experience is so important. And I think that as soon as and for you to be able to do that surrounded, in a team of educators and other students to really talk aloud and workshop it, it's a fantastic building ground for you to then be able to launch those skills from. Because I think depending on what level you're then employed at in a company, it's going to be a long time before you step up to be able to do that. But if you can see a whole of systems approach to how that works, which is the experience that you're really given in this project, I think, then you can really propel your growth and growth in that career, because I think you've seen those things and then you can identify it with your new employer and go, wow, what about this, and this? Or for an employer and a business owner, there's a lot of difference between the people who have done it in theory, as opposed to, we like to call it, the people who've done that hustle themselves. So they've actually got, greater experience. They can see all different elements of the business that it acts on. They're not working in silos. So I think that's why I feel like for a student, this project would be incredibly beneficial for them. I'm super excited to be working with Hannah's projects on this upcoming project with Your Food Collective. It's going to be game changing, both on your side and ours. Thank you.